Hey, what's up, everyone? Sean here with Blue Ridge Silverhound. Hopefully, you guys are always collecting and you're always pursuing for that next big hunt. So in this video, kind of an interesting question that came from someone in the comments section of one of my other videos. Now that we're beginning to see 2024 Lincoln cents finally hitting circulation, his question was, how much can we expect to see for the finest graded 2024 Lincoln cent? And that's kind of like a question out in left field. I thought to myself, okay, well, that's pretty interesting because people do collect the finest graded Lincoln cents. They call them registry sets, and as a result, a lot of these collectors that actually indulge in registry sets, they pay a ton of money just so they could be one of just a couple people to even have the finest grade of a specific date of coin. And what they do is they'll go and do that for every single coin in their favorite set. Lincoln cents are very popular, but it could be Jefferson nickels, it could be Washington quarters, Indian head cents, it could be seated Liberty half dollars. It doesn't matter. They're trying to find the finest graded of each date in the series, put a full compilation together, and just say, "Hey, look at me! I'm friggin' awesome." And that's pretty much how it kind of works. It's all mostly bragging rights, and there's really no big prize at the end from the PCGS and NGC grading companies. So, 2024, we're going to be focusing in on what they call business strike coins. These are the coins that the U.S. Mint produce specifically for circulation use only. So this does not include any of the special strikes. Normally, stuff that they would sell on the Mint website as a premium collectible. Think of like proof sets, proof coins, any other specialty strikes, satin finish strikes, things like that. Those are best reserved for sale on the Mint website. So we are here on eBay. We have to kind of understand what in the heck we're looking for. Obviously, we're going to be looking for a 2024 shield set. They're going to have the reverse shield design. How much are these things selling for now that they've been out for about a month? Full 50 roll boxes are right around 100 to 125 bucks. So they've fallen really hard as predicted. That's something I talked about in a few videos at the onset of these coins hitting circulation. And I'm telling you guys, hey, these things have a little bit of an expiration date. All right. So the free easy tendies for 2024 Lincoln cents has kind of come and gone. All right. By the time we're hitting right around the end of February and beginning of March, at this point, you're just going to realize somewhere around 4 times face on your profits. All right. So as far as the coins are concerned, when they first come out, they hit a really high pinnacle through the first 5 to 7 days, and then they drop off dramatically because, that's just inventory making their way around. All right. So the business strike coins, as they sound, they get subjected to a lot of circulation wear. And usually that starts at day one. The moment that cashier cracks open a fresh roll of 2024 Lincoln cents and puts it in the register, and they slam it in there, there's probably going to be some contact marks and nicks, okay, which will largely affect the overall grade of such coins. So it's those little things, ladies and gentlemen, that kind of play a role in finding those pristine examples. And this is why I tell everyone, if you're going to have your best shot at trying to find some of these pristine level quality coins, and in certain cases they have to grade out around a mid-state 67 plus, and I'll show you why. In order for these to have any sort of real tangible value, is to simply go at the source. Okay, you're going to go and look for bankrolls that are sealed, so that way you can carefully pry them open. You can pull the coins out one by one. They're not going to be slammed into a cash register, drawer. None of that stuff. Okay, you're going to have the ability to be a little bit more selective. Your coins are going to be in a lot better shape than previously when they were slamming it into the cash register. So, you're going to take a little bit more care in the search of some of these high-end coins. Because when you go to send them off to PCGS in the attempt to try and earn one of the top grades, you're going to end up spending anywhere from $20 to $30 per coin. And the reason why that there's that kind of a range is that there's something called bulk submissions. Okay, bulk sounds exactly like it is. You're sending out a lot of coins. Your rate per coin is going to be a lot cheaper than, say, if you send out 5 or 10 coins. So you want to make sure that if you do something like this, it's always a good idea when it comes to saving money that you send a bunch of them. But you just can't open up a roll and you're like, oh, I'm going to send all 50 of these coins. There's bound to be one that's going to grade out at the highest level. It doesn't quite work out that way. If you had a full penny box, okay, you'd be lucky to find maybe 10 or 20 coins that'll fit the criteria of what you would maybe construe as being a mid-state 67 plus or higher. All right, which is not a lot of coins. It's going to be one of those things that there's a really high ceiling as far as value, but it's going to be a lot of work. And it's also going to test your patience. And that's the big reason why that people that try and attempt to do this, they crack under the pressure. So, going through 2,500 or 5,000 coins, thinking you got it all figured out, it's actually a lot more difficult than it sounds. Plus, you're going to have this tired eyes syndrome. You're going to be sitting there at your desk going through these 2024 Lincoln cents at 2 o'clock in the morning. And, you're just not going to be in a good frame of mind to continue doing it. And at that point, you're going to begin to see things on the coins that maybe aren't there, or they are there and you just missed it. Just looking at these, kind of a little bit of word of caution. Mid quality on brand new coins. Okay, they're good. They're not the best that they could be. All right, and that's kind of what you come across when you're dealing with high level of production, high volume. When they're sitting there cranking these things out, okay, the quality kind of goes by the wayside. They just prefer to crank out 1 billion of these coins in the quickest amount of time possible and then draw it out through 365 days. And again, the quality really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. So that's the big reason why that we don't see the perfect 70 grades on a lot of these coins, is that the quality control at the volume kind of capacity, that level, holds it back a good deal. Now, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about values of some of the previous coins, because obviously 2024 is so new that maybe the grading companies don't have any of these in their submission queue right yet. All right, but let's go ahead back maybe 2 years to kind of explore how much these coins are based off of the PCGS price guide value. And then we're going to take a look at realized sales on greatcollections.com, so that way you guys can realize what that dollar figure looks like when it's translated at the highest grade level on a coin that is probably 1 to 2 years old. When you look at this schematic here, this is the price guide on PCGS.com. We're right around 2020, okay, so that's 4 years ago. And you can see when you go all the way to the right, when you're looking at the pricing grid, you want to focus in on the largest prices that you see there, okay? That means, and the big reason why those show up there and on some of the other dates, they don't have it, is because the grading company has graded at least one coin that fits that criteria of a mid-state 68. So there's a 2021 Denver Shield cent. There's at least one that graded out into 68, and therefore they assigned a price guide value of $2,750. Now, it's entirely possible, and this is something that they utilize too, because they don't just kind of come up with this number randomly. It has to be attached to some sort of historical kind of pricing data. So there was probably a coin that had sold on Heritage, on eBay, on Great Collections, or some other place where it realized $2,750 in the mid-state 68. And you're going to notice some of the earlier dates. There are no, there's top pops, but there isn't that kind of like marquee top grade coin, which is a 68. Which again is not a perfect grade. 70 is a perfect grade for any sort of coin. So for a 2021D, more than likely there was probably a sale of that coin in a 68. Same with 2022 Philadelphia. Now the Philadelphia coins have no physical P mint mark, with exception of 2017. And the big reason why that the Mint elected to put just a P mint mark on 2017 is that it signifies the 225th anniversary of the Philadelphia Mint. And that's kind of like one of their little hallmarks that they added to that particular coin design to help illustrate the 225th anniversary. So going back to the pricing grid here, 2022, as you could tell, there's a price guide, high value of $2,150 in a 67 grade with a plus. So a 67 is $225, a 67 plus is $2,150. But after that, in 2023, there's nothing really to talk about here unless you're talking about the Extra V variety, okay, which is a new variety as of last year. See, this coin has plenty of value, and there's been a number of these that have sold on the secondary market right around where these prices have sat here on the PCGS price guide. All right, so if I were a betting man and I were going to compare valuations of this year's 2024 P&D coins to something that has sold within the recent past, look no further than those two coins, the 21D and the 22 Philadelphia, as kind of a general rule of where these prices could sit at. Philadelphia always has the worse off quality, and that's why a mid-state 67 plus is worth nearly as much as a 68. All right, and that's kind of what you guys need to know. Philadelphia, less quality. Denver Mint, better quality. Therefore, it's going to take more of a higher grade on the Denver Mint coins to achieve essentially the same kind of result on a mid-state 67 plus Philadelphia coin. Hopefully that helps. All right, and then last thing, greatcollections.com. Okay, when it comes to new coins and trying to decipher how much a coin is expected to be worth at its highest, you kind of have to give it anywhere from 18 to 24 months in order for that to cycle through, because people will go and grade these coins, but they won't necessarily sell them right away. You know, maybe it's a registry set participant that's actually sending out a lot of these coins to the grading companies in the hopes of getting a 68. That's entirely possible. But usually it takes about 18 to 24 months before we begin to see any sort of historical sales data on the brand new coins. Okay, in this case, 2024 Lincoln cents. Your best bet, check in at 2026 for some of these top pop graded examples of 24s. So right here in 2022, there were two Denver Mint coins that sold on Great Collections for a pretty substantial amount of money. There's the one there that sold for $2,784. That was on June 18th of 2023. And of course, there is that other one there that sold in August, just a couple months later, for $3,262.50. And then they're both different coins, because the second one here that sold for $2,700, it has its reverse facing out. It's facing toward you. Whereas on this other one here, the way it was graded is it has Lincoln facing toward you. So kind of interesting. You know they're two different coins based off of those things. Plus, you could also look at the certification number for each coin. If they're different, they're two different coins for the most part. So, yeah, there you go. That is kind of what I expect to see price-wise on a brand new 2024 if it hits a 68. The Denvers will probably be in that $2,500 to $3,000 level. Philadelphia's will be around that same price level, but in a 67 plus, so a half a grade point lower compared to a 68. So there you go. That's kind of like what we expect to see. If you guys are curious at all, let's go ahead and take a look at 23, but it's going to be mostly the extra V Lincolns. In this particular case, there's been a few coins that have sold with the extra V, but it's a variety. Varieties typically command a lot more money. Here's an extra V in a mid-state 68 that's sold for $1,114, but it's NGC. Registry said people don't really hold NGC at the highest regard for the market compared to PCGS. So if that was a PCGS extra V mid-state 68 red, you're probably going to be talking about $2,500 to $3,000 with that variety. So there you go. That's kind of like our little price predictor on the new 2024 Lincoln cents. They are going to be pricey, but you have to hit the 68s. There's really no safety net here, ladies and gentlemen, and it's the big reason why that's kind of risky to grade super ultra moderns is for that very reason. All right. The grades, the coin has to be perfect to your eyes and mine, and to the grader's eyes too, in order to have a real shot at hitting that big number. All right, so that's what I want to talk about. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. Hopefully you got a little bit of a takeaway from this video when it comes to grading and registry sets. It's kind of a marvel to see the prices that some of these coins have sold for, and it's not going away soon. It's a very popular thing right now, and a lot of people are doing it and having a lot of fun at it, even though they're spending buco bucks to make it happen. All right, I will see you guys next time. Happy hunting, and keep on watching. See ya.